Welcome to Trust, Then Know, the Jackie BoydI podcast, a podcast providing education, information, and mostly inspiration that will help you become the best version of yourself. Join host Jackie BoydI for engaging and intriguing conversations. Now, Trust, Then Know, the Jackie BoydI podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trust, Then Know, the Jackie BoydI podcast. This is episode number 18. Can you believe that? We are actually coming up on 1 year. 1 year. And listen, there's going to be a surprise coming up, and we're going to celebrate that 1 year anniversary in November. There'll be more information about that later on. But listen, we're on every second and fourth Tuesday of every month, and we are bringing you people who have something to say. We want you to be encouraged to be the best version of yourself through information, education, but mostly inspiration. We're on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and YouTube. All you got to look for is Trust, T-R-U-S-T, then T-H-E-N, No, K-N-O-W, the Jackie BoydI podcast. And you can find all of our episodes. Please like or share if you've ever heard anything that we've said that has helped you or can help somebody else. We would love for you to subscribe to the Jackie BoydI podcast. Listen, tonight, like all other nights, but this is a special night because I have a wonderful guest here, and she's going to have a lot to say about building the life I've always wanted. Miss Stephanie Cason. Hi, Steph.
Hi, Jackie. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, lady. I'm so glad that you're with us tonight. We have so much to dive into, building the life that I've always wanted. And that's something that you have done, and you have done it well, lady.
Well, thank you.
You have done it well.
That. Thank you.
Stephanie and I go back a little bit. We were members of the same church. Yes. Our babies grew up. They're right around the same age.
They are.
And we reconnected about 3 or 4 years ago through a mutual friend, and we hugged, we embraced, and we said we're going to stay in touch. And here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. So, Steph, I just want to dive right in. First of all, I want to applaud you because you have done some amazing things over the last couple of years. You know, she's a real estate professional, and she said to me when we connected about 2 or 3 years ago, you know, Jackie, I think I want to get into real estate. And she knew what she was saying, and she made a commitment to herself to do that, and yes, she did. And not long ago, she was awarded for being a top producer. And you may see our sets a little differently because she had an event here at the beautiful Cooper's Hawk in the town center to celebrate that accomplishment.
Yes.
Because you should be so proud of yourself.
Thank you, Jackie, for that. I am.
Yes.
I am very proud.
Yes.
It's been a journey, but it's been a great journey.
I love it.
I've enjoyed the process, the beginning, and still the continuous journey. So thank you for that.
Absolutely, lady. Absolutely. So listen, Stephanie and I have some things in common. We do have two girls. Like I said, we went to church together, but we're also 2 divorcees.
Yes.
And I took it a step further. I'm a divorcee and a widow. People say, how can you be both? Divorced, and then a year later, bless his soul, Michael Conrad Boyd went to be with the Lord. Yes. But Stephanie and I realized that we share that in common.
We do.
We share that in common. So we want to talk about that. We want to talk about to every woman out there, and even to men, or anyone who has gone through a traumatic life change.
Absolutely.
How you recover, how you get back on your feet. And for you, Steph, I just want to dive right in. First of all, you have a wonderful co-parent in your ex-husband.
Yes.
You guys are wonderful co-parents.
Absolutely we are.
But for so many people, this is the question on everybody's mind. How can women make it without a man? Without that person, and I'm not saying a man, but without that covering.
Absolutely.
And a lot of old school women believe that you just need to hang in there because you need that. I know I grew up with a mother who kind of felt that a bit, and you know. Right. But talk to us about that.
So, I believe that you can go on. Mm-hmm. I believe that you should go on. Mm-hmm. So again, the co-parenting for us was good. Mm-hmm. It was good. It was strong. We talked about it. Mm-hmm. We talked about the process of how it would work and how things go. And we both stayed loyal to that for our children. So that portion of that ending for us, but still in a manner of making sure that our daughters were first.
Right.
So for me, yes, It was a process, definitely a process. Many things happen. You think of different things. You wonder how you're going to, financially, if you will, you know, how do you keep that going? Because we all know, again, two incomes, right? When you're married, there are two, you know, for the most part, there are two incomes. So when that's dissolved, one is dissolved, then you think about that humanly, you know. Where do I go from here? Okay, how do I start over? Just basically, where do you go from here? And alongside the co-parenting, which is great, but you think about yourself as the children get older as well. You start to kind of figure, you know, who am I?
Right.
What do I want to do?
Yes.
What's next? What's the next chapter? So you move forward. Slow process, you know, while you're thinking of things, of how you're going to work it out. But when you decide what it is, for me, I wrote it down.
Okay.
I wrote things down. I had vision boards. I went to different little, you know, events that had vision boards, but I also had vision boards for myself privately. So as it says, write it down, make it plain, right? And I did that. Consistency, over and over, and spending time making sure, because now you're depending on you. Seriously, depending on you. So you have to stay consistent and true to yourself. And making sure that journey rolls out for you.
Got it.
Yeah.
And you're a woman of faith.
Yes.
So I know, I totally understand what you're saying, that you're depending on you, meaning in comparison to having that other person with you.
Absolutely.
But we know that all of our help comes from above, from the Lord. And you definitely have talked about how you stayed on your knees, you stayed in the Word. For you, that worked and that helped you to get through.
It did, Jackie. So when I decided what needed to take place and including him, it was all I knew. It was all I had. So I stayed strong to that. You know, you have your days. We all have our days. But the question is, are you going to stay there, or how long are you going to stay there? You know, are you going to just cry every day, or are you going to complain about it every day? And those are some things that aren't in my nature. Not complaining. I like to make it happen.
Got it.
Because again, it's me. So you're left without a choice. I mean, you have people, you have support teams, you have friends. I have really good friends that I've had for over 30 plus years. But when you decide on what you're going to do for you, then it's quiet. So I decided, well, you know what? It's just going to be me and God. And I stayed in my word deeply. It was almost like a sponge, to where when I squeezed it, it was just him. And I think you and I was talking a little bit earlier, just to kind of put it into place. I would be driving. Driving to work, driving to the grocery store, going different places, and the sense of him sitting right next to me. Right next to me. So it made me smile. It made me sing. It just built me more. Trust him more. Because we say we trust him, and we do, you know. But when you are all in, and that's all you have. It's what you go with.
That's right. That's what you ride with.
That's what you ride with. That's
you were riding with him.
Still riding.
Still riding.
Still riding.
Right.
Yes.
Love it.
Absolutely.
So that's so significant, because, you know, you're afraid.
Yes.
People don't like to admit being afraid, because it makes them feel weak. And as women who are drivers, I'm a driver. I had a counselor tell me once that I'm a driver for success. That I'm gonna drive that success ship. Truck, whatever it is. You're a driver.
I am a driver.
And you know, we're those kind of women who just, you know, no is not an option.
Nope.
Failing is not an option.
It's not.
And so you just got to figure out a way. What am I going to do? What am I going to pick up to make this work? But I don't care how much you are a driver. You are afraid.
Yes, absolutely.
And we don't like to admit that, because it makes us feel weak. Talk to me about that fear.
So, absolutely. I believe, and many women, most women, and even men, there is a sense of when there's a shift in your life, when there are transitions in your life, you are afraid. I was afraid. I was until, during the process, that's when you're afraid and you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So being afraid, that's the first thing. So you may sit for a little while and trying to figure it out, not knowing what to do, but then you have to move at some point.
Yeah.
But absolutely, yes, I was afraid.
Yeah.
There were times I was thinking like, oh my God, okay, is this really going on?
Right.
Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay. And not all bad, not all negative, but just trying to process, what am I going to do next?
Right.
So, yes,
Yeah.
I was afraid. I had afraid moments. They would come and go, uncertainties. But again, staying in the Word,
Yeah.
it always brought me back to that. Yeah, but absolutely.
Yeah.
Afraid is, and to your point, does it make you feel weak? Either it makes you feel weak or you feel like you're going to fail, right? So if I feel like if I don't move, if I don't do something,
Right.
it's one or the other. If you don't move, you're going to fail
Right.
at some point.
Right.
Yeah, you just can't sit. You have to keep moving. So whether you're reading books, whether you're reading words, whether you're around motivating people, whether you're around positive people, all that type of energy is necessary in order for you to keep going.
To keep going.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah,
moving.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And, and I think sometimes as Christian women, we believe that, in God there's no fear. And, I understand that. And
Right.
you're right. We're human.
We are.
Okay. And I don't care, like you said, we may not stay there. We
Right.
shouldn't stay there.
Right.
But you're going to feel some trepidation.
Absolutely.
You're going to feel, uncertainty brings about that type of thing. And so it doesn't make you less of a Christian. It doesn't make you less spiritual. It doesn't make you less of a strong, driving woman.
It does
It just makes you human.
It does.
You know
And
what I
that's
mean?
it.
That's
Simple
it.
as that.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
And so I think that women need to hear that. It's okay to say, I'm scared.
Yes.
I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm afraid.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
then, but like I said, you don't stay there.
We don't.
Get on these knees, baby, and pray.
Talk to him. Talk about it.
That's right. And then you said something too, having the right people around you.
Absolutely.
Being in the wrong energy, boy, that can mess you up. Talk to me about that.
It can, because when things like that happen, I've had, I think I mentioned to you earlier, I've had friends as long as 38 years.
Yeah.
30 years,
Yeah.
32 years, 25 years. And so those people in my life, along with my dad,
Yes.
we're very close. And so we talk together, we pray together. That's my best friend and my dad.
Yes.
But I would lean on him a lot because he's a praying man. I leaned on him heavily, and he understood me because I'm his daughter.
Yeah.
So, but also the environment of my friends.
Yes.
I have great, good friends
Yeah.
that understood. Some had went through the same things that I did, and we leaned on each other.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't talk every day. We didn't get in a cry party, pity party.
Yeah.
We didn't do all of that, but just encouraging and uplifting one another. And that's what you need anytime you're going through anything.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, not just a divorce. There's loss. There are things. There are children.
Yeah.
It's life.
It's life.
And when life is life.
Life
right?
is life. And yeah.
So when that happens and you can pick up the phone and call, not all of them, but that one particular person,
Yeah.
and they share that energy with you of
Yes.
what you're going through, that helps.
It helps.
That helps.
Yeah. You know that you're
That
not
helps.
alone.
Yes,
Right.
that helps. So
That's
when you
right.
talk it through, and especially if they know you, and you talk it through with them, and you may have a cry night.
Yeah.
You may have a bad day.
Yeah.
And you can pick up the phone and kind of say, hey, my day went this way, my
Yeah.
day went that way, or I'm missing this person, I'm missing that person, but having someone that you can share it with. So the positive energy is so necessary.
Important.
Now, we will have the ones sometime, the background saying things, you should do this, if I were you. my if I were you was my rider. God, back to that. You know, that's who I rode with. That's who I chose. Yes, I talked to my friends all the time, and they were there. But I chose him as number one because he promised me.
Right.
How can I go wrong?
That's right. That's right.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, some people even say, you know, again, going back to being a Christian believer, you shouldn't divorce. You know, God hates divorce, but he loves us.
Yes.
And he gives each of us a measure of faith.
Absolutely.
He knows where each of us, he knows where we each are.
Yes.
And he knows what your threshold is. He knows what my threshold is. He knows my threshold for pain, your threshold for pain, what you can tolerate, I may not be able to tolerate. And so I've often said, you know what? God knows me intimately.
Yes, he does.
He knows what I can tolerate, what I
Yes.
can deal with, and what you can and you can deal with.
Right.
Therefore, it's not going to be a cookie cutter approach.
No.
It's not going to be a brush with a broad brush.
Right.
You know, paintbrush.
Absolutely.
Everybody's going to deal with each of us differently.
Yes.
Because it's an intimate relationship.
It is very intimate relationship. And so when you know that and you feel that,
Yes.
because when you have that intimate relationship with him, you know, it's almost like when you start dating,
Yeah.
right? And you're uncertain and you're like, well, I don't know, and well, maybe this, and you have all these questions,
Yeah.
right? So when you get back in that space where it's just you, there is no option but him.
Right.
But when you feel it and you know it because you have that intimate relationship,
Yeah.
you know it's okay.
Right.
You
That's
know
right.
it's okay, but you have to experience it.
Right.
We can say it.
Yeah.
We can say, oh, I know. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, the Lord will. And, you know, God is. But when you're in it,
Right.
when you're in it,
Yeah.
you know.
You know.
You know.
Right. That's
You
right.
know.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So talk to me, Stephanie, about like after the divorce. You know, we talked about being afraid. We talked about being able to understand that it's okay to feel that.
Right.
Just can't stay there.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
We talked about, you know, just thinking that we're weak, you know, and knowing that we're not. Our identity is so attached to titles.
Yes.
And sometimes I would say, I just want to be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When you're a driver, whether male or female, you're constantly having to provide, do, perform, because people expect that of you, and you've come to expect that of yourself.
Right.
Sometimes you just want to be.
Right.
You don't want to perform. You don't want to do. You just want to be Stephanie.
Yes.
I just want to be Jackie.
Yes.
Or whoever else just wants to be who you are.
You just want to be.
So our identity gets so intertwined with that role, that title.
Right.
And we get lost in that. You know, as a wife, that's your, I'm so-and-so's wife.
Yes, that's
I'm
the role.
so-and-so's mother.
Yes.
We sometimes get lost in that, and we forget who we are. So we lose our identity.
It can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen.
And so talk to me about, did you lose your identity in what space you were in during that time, and how you found it?
So I wouldn't say that I lost my identity of who I was. I've always been, I've always known who I was. My parents always told me, you came here like that. You knew who you were, you knew what you wanted. I may not known who I was,
Okay.
but I've always knew what I wanted.
Okay.
So for me, the identity, again, knowing who I was, it helped me process
Okay.
or plan what I wanted to become or
Yes.
whom I wanted to become
Okay.
after the divorce. So yes, there are processes where you're like, okay, do I do this or do I want to do that? But I knew because I started to write the vision down, remember? So I didn't take a long time to process.
Okay.
I didn't. So afterwards, okay, it's almost like a sense of, I don't want to use the word freedom, but
Okay.
yeah, freedom. And you're able to make different decisions. You're able to be past now for the children, for my girls, I'll always be their mom.
Yes.
Will always be their mom. Still supporting them, still
Yeah.
being there for them and things like that. So that will never change for
Yes.
me. However, just me not being the wife anymore or the caregiver or, like you said, when you marry, you're the wife.
Yes.
And there are certain, I should say, things being a wife that I respected.
Yes.
Because I enjoyed being married. I'm a person I would like to marry again. The freedom, yeah, freedom is good. And when you say freedom, not, oh, I'm free to go do this, that, I'm free to do whatever I'd like to do. But I was never in a relationship to where I couldn't do things that prevented me from doing that.
Okay.
If I wanted to, I did certain businesses when I was married. I took trips when I was married, with and without my husband. So I was never in that arena of where I couldn't do things. Yeah.
You were still yourself.
I was still myself.
Okay,
I
got
was.
you.
But I understand what you asking, like being a mom, just being mom and wife all the time.
Yeah.
Outside of that, now, who are you? What do you
Right.
like to do?
Right.
Yeah, where do you like to go? What books do you like to read?
Right.
What states do you like to travel? Things of that. So yes, that makes sense. So now, here in this place, it gives, I should say, it gives a little bit more opportunity.
Okay.
It gives much more opportunity because as you're growing and as you're learning, you do become someone else
Yes.
of maybe who you didn't know you were,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know I can do that.
Right.
Oh.
I forgot I had that
okay.
strength.
Yeah,
I forgot I had that talent.
The
Right.
bandwidth is wide on that. I can do that. Hey. So yeah. So it's just choices.
Choices. Yeah.
Choices, consistency, and developing
Yeah.
and staying true
Right.
to who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what all else, Steph? Loving yourself.
Loving yourself.
I think the use of the word love is so misused.
I agree.
It's so misused. But loving yourself, God created us. When we face him, we're not going with our spouse.
No, we're not.
We're going to go on our own.
Yes, we are.
And so what did we do in this world? What did we do because we're a gift.
Yes.
We are a gift.
We are.
And sometimes, and I don't know if it's I think it's an all women thing, that we don't like to celebrate us. Or we feel that we need to downplay, we maybe growing up in a Christian home, that we feel that, you can't be proud. God hates the proud. And so maybe it's like some type of twisted sense of something that makes us feel like we need to put our accomplishments under a bushel. Do you think that? I think that we do it, but tell me how your thoughts are about that.
So, good point, right? So, there is and was that, right? And like I said, I don't know what that is because I did experience that. Like, okay, I was speaking with one of my girlfriends the other night when we were talking, and we talked about the hush hush moment, right? Like, shh, shh, you don't
talk about that.
Don't talk about that. And we had a good long conversation about that. I don't know how it came up, but here we are to where you feel like you shouldn't celebrate your accomplishments. And good question, I don't know where that came from, but I know many people and I know many women where something good would happen in their life and they won't say anything.
Wow.
Or I'll say, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know you did that. I didn't know that. And social media is a huge part of everything these days.
Yeah.
But when you do that, and I'm not saying that you have to share everything on social media, but when you accomplish things within your family, within your friendship, that shouldn't be hidden. And I did go through I went through a time where I was like, okay, I won't say anything, or, I'm just going about it. Things are happening and blessings are coming and God is just being God. And not that I had to just share it, but then why not?
Why not?
Why not? Now, I would tell my friends, I would tell my dad, I would tell my daughters,
Yeah.
you know, hey, I did this, but I just kind of kept it compact,
Right.
in a little, you know, just kept it
Little
tucked
small bubble.
away.
Yeah.
Just kept it tucked away, and not to, like you said, being a Christian. I think, like you mentioned, maybe you should, you know, you want to stay humble,
Right.
but that's already me.
Right.
If you know me and people that know me, that is embedded in me until I leave here.
Wow.
Because that's just who
That's
I
who
am.
you are. Right.
So either you know me for that or either you don't know me for that. And I don't need to explain that to anyone. Again, you either know me for it and trust it and know who I am, and that's it. But I work with that within me. I worked on that and decided, you know what? I'm going to celebrate me. I'm going to celebrate.
Right.
I'm going to celebrate me every chance that I get, and there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't change who I am.
That's right.
I'm still positive. I still have good energy. I still bring good energy. I'm still loving. I am still kind. Why not?
Why not? That's right. And you said tonight, you said, Jackie, I'm proud of myself. And you should be proud of yourself.
Yes.
And for every woman out there who's done anything, big or small, be proud of yourself.
Absolutely.
Because you have worked to earn wherever you are at that moment. You and your ride or die. You and your rider.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh, Stephanie. So this is amazing because, again, I think that women, sometimes we're our hardest and worst critics.
We are.
And, you know, we work so hard.
We do.
If we're not careful, we will lose our identity with titles and roles.
Yes.
But God created us whole.
Yes.
You know, unique.
Yeah.
And He wants us to understand and embrace that about ourselves. Right?
Absolutely.
Not go to the other end of the extreme.
No.
You know, but not be on this end of the extreme either.
That's right.
Be somewhere in the middle. Be balanced.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Good
so,
word.
Stephanie, let me ask you this. In closing, if we have daughters around the same age. I think your baby told me they're 32 and 28, 27? 26. Okay. And mine are 30, and my daughter is 30. Other daughter is 26 or 27, and my 28. I'm sorry, and my son is 26. So if those young people, if any one of those young women or even a young man came to Miss Stephanie Cason, and said, Miss Stephanie, what advice would you give me about success and about life and just living, what would you tell them?
First thing, Jackie, I would say is decide what you want. Decide what you want. Write it down. Write it down, because the more you see what you want, the more it becomes
real.
It becomes embedded in your spirit. It becomes just like we play music and we hear it over and over again, and we know the words. We know the words because we listen to it over and over, right? So same thing. Be consistent. Do what you say you're going to do for you. You know, be in good company, and
important.
not just good company, but be in good energy.
Wow. Yes.
Be in the room with people, not just to be in the room with people.
Yes.
Be in the room with people who genuinely care for you, have your best interests at heart. When it's quiet, when it's storming, when it's raining, be intentional. You know, stay in your word. And again, make sure you have supporting people in your space. If that's your mom, if that's your dad, but make sure that you have wholesome, good energy in your space. You know, and again, be consistent.
Be consistent.
Stay consistent. If you start something,
finish it.
Finish it. If you start it, and if it's what you want,
right?
Because remember, when you figure out what you want, stick with it.
Yes.
If you're asking him, ask him for anything. You know how kids ask you for money. Hey, can I have this? Hey, mom, can I borrow this? Stick with it.
Right.
Be consistent.
Yes.
And it'll work.
It'll work.
It'll work.
Wow. That's wonderful.
It's going to work. It's going to work.
You're a boss, baby.
Thank you, Jackie.
And just as you should be proud of yourself, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Because I remember that conversation 2 years ago and how you said, Jackie, I think I want to do, and look at you. Look at you. You are amazing.
Thank you.
And it's so important as women, we need to tell each other that.
Yes.
We need to support each other in that way.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm thankful to know you as my friend.
Thank you, Jackie, and thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
I'll say this, and I remember when we had that conversation, and you were very supported in sharing your best practices. And I went on my first walkthrough with you.
Yes.
We went on the walkthrough, and it was very inspiring and supportive that you took the time that day and said, hey, just come on, ride with me.
Right.
You can come with me.
Yeah.
And so I remember that. And I thank you for that.
Amen. Yep. You are so welcome, my dear. Well, listen, did this lady not have a lot to give us? Not have a lot to say? Ladies, there is definitely great life after divorce. I know that we've come a long way and those, maybe old school ways of thinking have passed. But the reality is, even still today, you may not trust yourself. You may not believe in yourself. You may not have confidence in yourself. But hold on to something stronger than you. Hold on to a power greater than you. Your ride or die. But no, the encouragement is just believe in yourself, trust in yourself, love yourself. Your identity is so important for you. You cannot be anything to others if you're not first loving and good to yourself.
Absolutely.
So thank you again, Miss Steffi Cason.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Listen, guys, thank you for tuning in to this 18th episode of Trust and Know, the Jackie Boyd podcast. Remember, we're on all your major podcast platforms, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Just look up Trust, T-R-U-S-T, then T-H-E-N, Know, K-N-O-W. Trust and Know, the Jackie Boyd podcast. We're always going to bring you people who have something to say because we want you to be the best version of yourself through information, education, but mostly inspiration. So if anything you've heard here tonight has inspired you or you think could inspire somebody else, please subscribe, like, and share. And until next time, bye-bye. Thank you, Steph.
Thank you for listening and watching this episode of Trust, Then Know, the Jackie Boyd podcast. We hope this episode has left you informed, intrigued, and inspired to become your best self. Remember to tune in every second and fourth Tuesday of the month and trust, then know.